All right, welcome back. We're talking about Penn State Pitt college football because if you listen to some of these commissioners, they're planning to go ahead. Now, we saw that the Big Ten, the Pac-12 have said that they're going to go with all conference. That's it. No non-conference games, and that will deprive people of watching some of the good non-conference matchups early in the season. But, Rich, you know, NFL players go to a bubble. That's one thing. College football players likely won't. And how do you stop college football players from doing what they do as college football players, young adults?
I don't think you do. We're seeing the rise in COVID cases around here, and they're mostly younger cases. If you look at the statistics, they've been under 30 or right around 30 college-age kids. So I don't know if you stop the spread of this. I don't know if we're going to have kids on college campuses, and that's what worries me about college football or any college sports. I think the first domino has fallen. We're going to conference games in the Big Ten, and then the Pac-12. The ACC, I liked what they did by waiting, saying they're going to wait till the end of July and trying to figure things out. Maybe we could see the ACC, they're going through different scenarios. We heard playing division games twice, home and home series, adding Notre Dame in there. I also saw there's been people speculating that maybe the SEC and ACC might try to play games and try to figure things out.
Bob, can I interject a question about what the Big Ten did? Because
sure.
There's a question that's looming over this whole situation. So it's conference-only games now. If everything goes off decently, I'm not saying it's perfect, but they managed to get through their conference season. So then what? After saying for 4 or 5 months that they can only play conference games, if Ohio State's undefeated, then they want them to go play an SEC team in the college football playoff? That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, they can play conference-only games now.
Well, it's about controlling things right now. And they want to control things because there isn't an NFL, there isn't an MLB. We have each conference kind of controls things. The NCAA, hopefully they fix things.
But if they can't control things with Ohio State playing Oregon in September, how are they going to be able to control things when Ohio State potentially plays Alabama in the? I don't get that.
But here's another question for you.
That makes no sense to me.
How do you determine who's in this playoff? Because if you have 5 power conference teams,
you can't.
You can't. You'd have to take 5 division or conference champs and add a wild card to make it 6, I think. And then you'd have 1, 2 byes, and then you have 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. That to me is the most logical way out of this, because if you only play these power 5, you're not going to have what it takes to put together a good playoff. And by then the test could change, and by then we could have a lot of different results to either, help along the way for COVID patients or a vaccine or both.
Heather Light told us they're hoping to have fans on Living Room Sports this week. They're hoping to be able to have fans. Take a assumption of risk, have 25% or 30% of fans socially distanced. So Pitt, it sounds like, that's coming from Heather Light, it sounds like they're optimistic that there could be fans at games here at Heinz Field.
Andrew, I don't know. I mean, I understand that. I applaud that. I know NFL teams are trying to do that. We saw today in the Riverhounds game against Louisville City, they had fans with masks and separated. I don't have a problem with that.
I think the biggest threat to college football is going to be the college student experience.
Yes.
And so I think what should happen is this should be all online classes. What Bob Bowlesby, the commissioner of the Big 12, said, as long as school is in session, we can play games. Well, session could mean online. And if the football players are the only people on campus, and they're basically in army barracks where they're on complete lockdown with a tight curfew, I think you could pull the season off. Now, I think you would have to tell the players up front, if you don't want to do this, then you don't have to play. We're not going to destroy your scholarship. You're not in bad standing with the school. But these are the sacrifices you're going to have to make if we're going to play college football.
Tony, how do you justify that? We're talking about a football team. So how does the cross-country team or the swimming team or the soccer team?
Because those programs don't make money.
So you say they can't play. That's not the way college sports work.
But
I mean, NCAA tries to do everything as fair as possible.
Well, Richie, what do you mean that's not the way it works? Stanford just cut 11 sports teams.
And they have, the third biggest endowment in the world.
That's not for that. Well, that's not for that. That's for
I get that, but
academic.
They cut sports because they're losing money. I'm saying how can you justify...
And they need football to make the money back, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Justify it. You need the football program for everything else.
Now, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to go round the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. That would be Armina Stone. Rich, your Smooth Move of the week.
My smooth move, I'm going to stick with golf. I love golf. Colin Morikawa, he was a 28-1 odds to win this charity open. So I love it. Congratulations to him. Also, another smooth move, I'll keep it going. They're keeping the tournament out there. Again, the Memorial's out there. Tiger Woods is playing in his first tournament back. So those are my smooth moves for this week.
Are you doing that to just get on my nerves, Richie? Because I'm
Justin
sensing,
Thomas would have been my
sensing
smooth
some of
move
that.
if he was able to win.
Bob, I'm going to give the NHL credit for a change. They did two things that I think hockey fans will love. The playoff games will be starting at noon until midnight, right up your alley, so all day, all night hockey. And they're going to let their stars play in the Olympics, which is another thing hockey fans love. So this is a first. Kudos to Gary Bettman in the NHL.
Pomp will be tweeted till 3 in the morning every night.
No matter where they play. Armina Stone is Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Check them out at Armina Stone. We'll be back with more next.